What's going on, everyone? In this video today, we're going to go over this Tournament of Champions being presented by King of the Lifts. So basically what this is a fantasy league, but it may not be the typical fantasy league you've done where you may have like a group of, let's say, 10 people. And once you pick a athlete or a player, then they are removed from the pool. And then, everyone has a different team. While there are also some fantasy leagues out there where everyone can have a similar team, this is going to be slightly different, and that's we can go off of what we call confidence points or confidence rankings. So I already have the website pulled up here where you can do the entry. So we'll get right into it and kind of go over it. So in order to access this form, I'll have, for those of you on YouTube, the link down in the description below, but you can also go to the King of Lifts Instagram page and you'll see in the bio right there the link to the form. And also for my personal Instagram, I'll put it there as well so that you all can access the form. Okay, so you can see King of the Lifts presents Tournament of Champions in conjunction with Bill McCarthy from Get the Lift, Rory Lynch from Sisyphus Strength, and myself from the Strength Guys. So what you have to do is for USAPL, the Raw Open National Championships coming up, you have to select who you think the champion is going to be for each weight class, both the women's and the men's side. Then for each one, for the men's and for the women's, within your champions, you have to pick who you're the most confident with winning and who you're the least confident with winning. So for example, if you're for the 84s, Amanda Lawrence, you're the most confident for her. You can see as an example here, you can give her a confidence rating of like 8 or 7, which is going to be a higher amount of points versus someone if you're less confident, you might give them 1 or 2. If you pick the champion right for that weight class, you get an amount of points associated with it. So if you did the 7 or 8 points, you would get those 7 or 8 points. If you don't get the champion right, then you get 0 points. So it's kind of an all or nothing. And in addition to that, for each champion, you can only assign one number. So you can't give multiple people 8 or multiple people 7. Once you give Amanda Lawrence that 8, you can no longer give any of your champions 8 points. So then you have to go down 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And same thing for on the men's side. Then as a tiebreaker, we're also having everyone pick who their best lifter is going to be for the women's side and their best lifter is going to be on the men's side. That way, if some people have the same number of points when it comes to the women's or men's team, we'll go to that tiebreaker and see who is your champions. So in order to get to the roster, what you want to go to is this nationals.usapowerlifting.com. And then here under entry forms -roster, you have the roster here. You click on that, it'll send you over to this Google Sheet. The Google Sheet does go in and out sometimes when there's a lot of edits and it's doing lots of calculations for all the different championships. So what you can then do is go over to File and then just download it as either an Excel or a PDF or whatever you want to do, CSV, so that you have the roster and it won't go in and out. And then you can go and look into each of the weight classes. So you can come over here to Raw Open. You can go to each of the weight classes, see who's competing, see what their qualifying total was for that championship. You can go into, USA Powerlifting database or Open Powerlifting, look at their other meets and see what their qualifying numbers were for those meets, how many attempts they made, all this stuff. Do your research so you can pick who your champions are and set your confidence ranking to place as high as possible in our leaderboard. All right, so I'm going to go through the form step by step just to show you all the process and show you how easy it is. And so here you have the form, and the first thing is going to be information about you. So you can put in your full name if you want. You can just put in your first name. You can put a fake name if you don't want us to know your name. You put your email address. I'll just put this Aaron11@gmail.com in here. You can put your Instagram handle if you want, or again, you can leave that one blank. And here you can also pick whether you want emails from us as far as things going on with the competition. So you can always choose like, okay, don't contact me. Or if you want, you can put yes, that's fine. And we'll send you information about what's going on as far as when the deadline is, what the leaderboard is like, everything like that. So then you hit next, and now you come to the first selection process, which is going to be the women's. And first you're selecting the champion in each weight class. So here you can see, okay, 47 kilo women. You have a drop down of the qualifying totals and the lifters. Some of these lifters may have dropped out since we made this. So you have to go through with the current roster and download it and see if anyone withdrew or anyone changed their weight class. But you'd go through and pick. So for example, I'll go make my picks. Heather for 47, Andrea for 52s, Brittany for 57s. Oh, skip the 63s. Sam for 63. Chandler for 69. So you just go through, you pick who you want just like this. I'll go Danny 76, Amanda 84, and Bonica 84 plus. So now I've picked my champions for the women's weight classes. And now you come to part 2, which is setting those confidence points for each of those champions. Remember, you can only pick one number for each champion. And 8's going to be obviously the most confident, where you're going to get the most points, and 1's going to be the least confident, where you're going to get the least points. So then you go and pick your numbers. So I have it here. I have Amanda as 8, Heather as 7. I have Sam as 6, Chandler as 5, Bonica as 4, Brittany as 3, Andrea as 2, and Danny as 1. So those are my personal picks. You can always go and make your picks and be like, Arian, you're stupid. Why'd you pick Bonica as 4? I'm going to put Bonica as 8. Go ahead and do it. And then you'll go on leaderboards and we'll see how well you did. Then you come to part 3, that tiebreaker. So you're going to pick the best overall female. So make sure you type this in correctly so that we can always have all the Amanda Lawrences or all the Bonica Browns, everything like that, lined up together when we look at the summary and everything like that. So Amanda Lawrence is my pick. So I hit next. Now I'm going to go through this same process, but now on the men's side. So again, you're going to pick first your champions. So I'll pick Shahid. I got to go with my boy Jonathan Garcia as I coach him, a little bias there. Go with Taylor Atwood for 74s. Go with Russ for 83s. Go with Jonathan Keiko for 93s. Went back and forth on the 105s, but I'm going to take my shot with Ashton. 120s, Dennis. And then 120 plus going Jesus. All right, and then again, you come to this section where you're going to pick your points. So let me pick my points again. I had Dennis at 8. I had Taylor at 7. Jonathan at 6. Keiko. Russ at 5. Jesus at 4. Shahid at 3. Jonathan Garcia at 2. And then Ashton at 1. So again, those are my picks. You can go make your picks however you want. And again, picking that best overall, I'm going Taylor Atwood. And then boom, you're done. If you made a mistake or something like that, you'll see an error here. If you try and pick 2 people for 8, you'll see it'll give you an error. So if you see those errors, then you have to go back and make sure you put in your points correctly. And then you can always go back and change it if you want before you submit. Once you're ready to go, you picked your women's champions, your women's points, your women's best overall, your men's champions, your men's points, your men's best overall. Boom, you hit submit and you are done. You are in the competition. You're going to go on our leaderboard list. We already have about 100 entries in. And so then you can see if you're going to be the best for our 2021 USA Powerlifting Raw Open Nationals in the Tournament of Champions. So like I said, the link to this form is going to be King of Lift's Instagram, my own Instagram, my YouTube. You go to that nationals.usapowerlifting.com to get to the roster. Make sure you download it so that if it does go out, you don't lose it. And then submit your roster before the championship starts, and we'll see if you can win the Tournament of Champions. And if you want to hear us break down all the different weight classes and get some more insider information, you can always go to wherever you listen to podcasts, for example, to Spotify, and go over to the King of Lifts podcast. And we already did the women's and men's preview. The women's is up. The men's will be up soon. So all you have to do is then just go to, search, or you go over to King of Lifts, and then you'll see all episodes. And you can see the women's one is up May 29th. The men's one will go up soon. We'll do a third one as well, going over some of the other events, but also going over our best lifters. But you already saw mine, Amanda and Taylor. And so that way you can get a full breakdown of all the weight classes, see everything that's going on, if you want to use that information in order to make your picks. But other than that, hope you guys are having a good day and good luck in the Tournament of Champions.